So our fifth principle of design is space, something that the author of your textbook neglects to include, and I believe that's a mistake. And I think you'll understand why I believe that after I demonstrate some of these things to you. So space, we need to work with it a little differently. In two-dimensional artwork, it is one thing, and three-dimensional artwork, it is another. So the illusion of space gives you the impression that you're looking at three-dimensional form on a 2D surface. There are several ways to achieve the illusion of volume in space in this way. There's the use of scale, the use of linear perspective, the use of atmospheric perspective, and the way that we manipulate value and color. In sculpture and architecture, they deal with real space. Sculpture can exist in shallow space, as in relief, or exist in the round. Installation art can exist inside of architectural space. Architecture itself creates space that encloses the viewer. Let's look at 3D space first. So, sculpture in relief occupies a shallow space and is meant to be viewed from one angle of view. In this ancient Assyrian artwork, which was a kind of a sculptural form on a building, you see that there are some parts of this creature that are quite volumetric, quite sculptural, that is in deep relief, and some parts like this wing here that is very shallow relief. But if you were to walk behind it, there's nothing to see. You're only meant to look at it from this point of view. Often three-dimensional masses cannot be understood or truly appreciated from a single point of view. When sculpture has been designed to be seen from all angles, it is traditionally referred to as sculpture in the round. This is a Baroque sculpture by Bernini, who's Italian, and it's called Apollo and Daphne. You might recognize that this is a Greek myth. If we look at another slide of this one, when viewed from another angle, we can appreciate the movement of the sculpture more fully. So we have this twisting motion. If we follow the arm up through there, up through the other arm, and the bodies rise and twist as they do. We also understand the content a bit more. What looked like a dance from a profile view now looks like something more ominous because we can see the expression on Daphne's face, and it reveals her horror and anguish at being caught by Apollo as she is transformed into a tree by Peneus. So you can follow this link and watch a video about this sculpture and see it better from different point of views, but also understand the content and its meaning. Architecture expresses space to a greater degree than any other art form. Its function is to enclose space inside and project outward into space on the outside. This is a building by Frank Gehry. It's the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, Spain. Frank Gehry has transformed the language of architecture more than anyone in a recent lifetime, and I have no doubt that he'll leave a lasting legacy for hundreds and perhaps thousands of years. This architecture, and maybe some of you aren't familiar with it and never seen it, it looks quite astonishing in how different it is from things that have existed before. There is a Frank Gehry building in Chicago. It is the Pittsburgh Pavilion in Millennium Park. And if you're ever able to see it, or if you have seen it, or if you can't see it, I hope that one day you'll be able to, because it's really quite remarkable. So a view from the inside of the Guggenheim Museum, the space inside the museum and out is curvilinear, asymmetric, and full of natural daylight. It's a little bit different than what we think of as a ceiling and a ground and four walls, which are very rectilinear. Frank Gehry really opens the space up, and light and the curvilinear forms play an important role in the building. Installation art refers to art that encompasses multiple sculptural objects arranged in a specific interior. Here we have cars tumbling in a very tall space. This happens to be the Guggenheim Museum in New York. It is the space itself that makes or has a great impact on the artwork itself. If the cars were simply sitting on the ground, they would look like something completely different. And so, in installation art, the space that the art occupies is a very important thing. And again, you can follow this link to watch a bit about this installation. And I will talk about the two dimensional space in the next video.